Tea that never happened. In the small lakeside village of Nyawita, mornings always arrived gently. The sun rose slowly over the green hills, lighting the tin roofs of scattered houses, while roosters announced a new day that looked almost exactly like the one before it. For most young people in the village, life had two worlds now. One was the dusty paths, the chatter at the market, the slow rhythm of village life. The other lived inside glowing phone screens, where conversations traveled faster than the wind that moved through the tall grass. Rhobi sat outside his mother's house on a wooden stool, his phone resting in his palm. The mango tree above him dropped thin shadows across the ground, while goats wandered lazily past the fence. In the distance, children shouted as they chased a punctured football along the narrow road. But Rhobi barely noticed any of it. His attention was fixed on a small chat window. Days earlier, he had tried to be clever. He had told himself that silence was powerful, that waiting would make someone curious. When the message finally came, he felt a quiet victory he never admitted out loud. The conversation was simple: jokes about adulthood, complaints about responsibilities, the kind of humor young people used to hide how heavy life sometimes felt. She had laughed with him. For a moment, it felt like the distance between them had shrunk. But beneath the jokes, Rhobi carried a hope he didn't say directly. The idea of seeing her again had grown quietly in his mind, like a seed after the first rain. He imagined the meeting easily: tea, laughter, maybe something more. In the village, dreams were often small but powerful. He finally gathered the courage to invite her. The wind moved softly through the banana trees behind the house while he waited for the reply. The message arrived quickly. His heart jumped when she asked what time. For a brief second, the future looked simple, but life rarely followed the paths people drew in their heads. The next messages came just as quickly, but their meaning felt heavier than the earlier laughter. Boundaries appeared clearly, like invisible fences across an open field. Some doors, he realized, were not meant to open easily. Rhobi leaned back against the rough wooden wall of the house. Somewhere down the road, an old motorcycle rattled past, leaving a thin cloud of dust floating in the warm air. The village carried on, calm and patient. Women bargained at the market, fishermen prepared their nets by the lake, children argued loudly about whose turn it was to kick the ball. Life outside the phone felt steady and certain. Inside the phone, things were more fragile. Rhobi stared at the screen for a long moment before locking it. The invitation he had imagined so clearly now felt distant, like a story he had once believed but could not quite finish. Above him, a mango dropped softly to the ground, and in Nyawita village, the afternoon sun kept climbing, indifferent to every message that was sent, and every one that never would be.